Hi there. Are you a Kenyan solo entrepreneur or an SME in the finance game? Are you running a SACCO, offering loans, selling insurance, or consulting on tax? Episode 7 of AdLabs was made for you. The episode gives you inspired cheat codes from Ogilvy and Martha on financial ads that actually sell. This week, we go long on how to actually market finance in Kenya. Not generic theory, but real tactics. From WhatsApp loan funnels to SACCO ads that beat Shylocks to creative executions that sell trust. It's practical, it's local, it's exactly what the finance industry needs in 2025. So if you want more clients, stronger credibility, and smarter marketing, stream episode 7 now, only on AdLab Podcast. Well, welcome back to AdLabs, the podcast where we decode timeless marketing wisdom and put it into actionable strategies for today's digital world. Every episode, we dive deep into iconic advertising lessons, dissect them, and give you the modern playbook to put them into action. So whether you're a solo entrepreneur, the founder of an SME, or you're leading a global brand, this is the podcast for you. My name is Vera Phoebe from VP Creations. Let's get started. Money, trust, community in Kenya today. Financial advertising isn't about glossy posters outside Equity or KCB branches. It is about whether people believe you'll actually safeguard their savings, deliver an insurance payout, or process that M-Pesa withdrawal when it really matters. We are in a world where SACCOs compete with big banks, where chamas are pulling in millions, and where fintech apps like Tala, Branch, and NCBA Loop are promising instant credit. Yet beneath all the technology, the question still remains the same. Do your customers trust you? In this episode, we are diving into David Ogilvy's How to Create Financial Advertising That Sells, a masterclass that built campaigns for Merrill Lynch, American Express, and Fidelity. The lessons are in positioning, clarity, proof, and trust, and we'll reimagine them for Kenya in 2025. From SACCO recruitment drives in Embu, to chama posters in Kisumu, to fintech TikTok ads in Nairobi. Stick around because by the end, you'll know exactly how to make your financial advertising not just look good, but actually sell. It is important to understand that financial ads are different. They're not about showing happy families running through fields or sleek cars on mountain roads. They're about trust, numbers, and proof. If you're trying to sell financial services, insurance, loans, investment, or fintech, your customer doesn't want to be entertained. They want clarity and they really need credibility. David Ogilvy's principles applies here. The consumer is not a moron. She is your why. In a financial advertising, that the consumer is very skeptical and often detail-oriented. They are very much risk-averse, and every claim must feel actually bulletproof. Let's look at the 12 tips from David Ogilvy's How to Create Financial Advertising That Sells. Number 1. The most important decision is how should you position your financial product or service. This is the most important decision you will make. It affects the way you conduct your business as well as what you say in advertising. Merrill Lynch is positioned as a total financial services center, not just a stockbroker. American Express travelers' checks are positioned for domestic travel as well as foreign. The Fidelity Bank of Philadelphia is positioned on the bank that does the most to stretch your money. The results of your campaign depend less on how well it is created than on how wisely it is positioned. Positioning should be decided before advertising is created. Ideally, it's step 1. Research can help, but look before you leap. Number 2 is build a bond of trust. Any advertisement is likely to work better if it renders believable. In financial advertising, trust is built on hard facts. This is because many financial services offer benefits that cannot be measured for years or years, yet vital to the customer's well-being. Here are the 5 ways to build trust. Demonstrate your validity. You're asking people to confide their hundreds or even thousands of dollars for validity. There are a few things so good as advertising results. Ogilvy and Martha once built 30 accounts for one Canadian brokerage house that had no staff. Your advertising meant him get the business. His validity, our clients, was the proof. The second way you build trust is you get behind the money. If you are a unit trust, why didn't they not publish an annual report complete with portfolio analysis and disclose all their holdings to the public anyway? If they didn't, suspicion was justified. Show what you have in goldfish bowls. Suspicion of their holdings is not justified. The third way you build trust is you use a spokesman. Use a well-known spokesman who represents with confidence. The fourth way of building trust is finding a unique selling proposition you will trust. Smith Barney shows you how money is invested and gives credibility. Their spokesman says, they make money the old-fashioned way. They earn it. And lastly, show who is behind the granite walls. It is easier to trust a human being than a faceless company. Investors, for example, want to know who is handling their money. Lionel D. Eddy and Co., the investment advisory subsidiary of Merrill Lynch, showed their top investment advisors in their advertising. It helped establish person-to-person contact with dozens of prospective accounts. And lastly, don't be cute. People take their money seriously, and they are seldom disposed to trust it to concern which clown about its advertising for comic gain. Ogilvy and Martha has found that it pays to advertise seriously. Third, offer service or rather distinctive benefit. There is a theory that if you advertise a service or distinctive benefit, your advertising is more likely to succeed. The fourth point is make sure the advertising fits the climate of the times. It is easier to advertise a financial institution in a bull market than a bear market. Those who are in finance can understand. The fifth point is look for a hook. Successful advertising always contains a memorable visual symbol which gives continuity to a campaign. In addition to catching a hook that will catch in your prospect's mind, the Merrill Lynch, for example, bull symbolizes the company's confidence in the long-term strength of the American economy. The nationwide blanket symbolizes the complete coverage of nationwide can provide for your home, car, and family. The sixth tip is go for class. It pays to give your service an image of dignity. If your advertising looks cheap or ugly, prospects will think your service is shoddy. The seventh tip, unify your advertising. Often a financial advertiser offers many services. Some banks run dozens of different campaigns, and the result is normally confusion. Better to unify all of them under one theme. For example, Merrill Lynch advertises only one service, investment advice, but all their advertising carries the same slogan, a breed apart. The eighth tip is make sure your advertising works in the short term as well as in the long term. In financial advertising, short-term results are often crucial to survival. Fidelity Bank built itself through this year by running ads offering 7% interest compounded daily to May 1st. The response was quite overwhelming. The ninth point is mail. Mail at that time is the most effective medium for financial advertising. One of the best coupon ads for Merrill Lynch contained more than 1,143 words. The more you tell is the more you sell. The 10th point is make sure people know you really want their business. Many people distrust financial institutions. For example, the chairman of one of the banks found out that 60% of the people in his city didn't know whether his bank wanted their business. Fidelity Bank removed this fear by running ads saying, "We want your banking business." Number 11, be very much specific. Vagueness is the enemy. A Merrill Lynch ad, "We are bullish on America," was backed up with specific facts. A Bowery Savings Bank ad that claimed more people save at the Bowery than any other savings bank in the world was supported by a very large number of specific proof. And tip number 12, write long copy. Financial advertising is often complex, and it takes time to explain complex subjects. For example, a Merrill Lynch ad ran between 6,540 words and another 5,400 words. Ogilvy and Martha has found that long copy works better, short copy in this category. I'd love for us to shift the conversation now to interpret all these tips segment according to the Kenyan Finance SME focus. from 2025 going forward. When we translate marketing frameworks into Kenya's finance industry, especially for SMEs and solo entrepreneurs, things shift. Unlike fast-moving consumer goods or e-commerce, finance runs on trust, proof, and consistency. It is important to understand this is why it matters now in Kenya 2025. Kenya has over 22,000 registered SACCOs, but fewer than 5% actively run structured marketing campaigns. Insurance agents and brokers rely heavily on referrals, but lose ground on digital-first competitors who run micro-targeted campaigns. Fintech startups fight for downloads, but churn is high because the marketing messages don't match local trust concerns. And tax consultants and accountants often assume word of mouth is enough. But in digital-first Kenya, discovery starts on Google and LinkedIn. This is where long-form structured marketing, the kind we unpack in this podcast, become a huge differentiator. The application of key frameworks in finances and SMEs. It is important for these financial businesses to understand the 4 Ps of marketing, the Kenyan finance context. Number 1 is to look at the product. Insurance covers loans, savings, plans, tax filing systems, and services. The challenge is that they all sound the same. You're differentiated by adding layers of value. For example, loans approved in 3 hours, free WhatsApp tax tips, and so forth. You can think through however your product is positioned. The second P is price. Here, price isn't just interest rates or premiums. It is perceived fairness. A micro lender can frame high interest as fast access convenience. Third is place. For finance SMEs, place is equals to distribution. So for SACCOs, they must prove from physical offices to mobile fast signups. Insurance agents must use LinkedIn direct messages as a face-to-face conversation. And the last P is promotion. Instead of insurance for peace of mind, say cover school fees even if you are not around. Tie it to the real Kenyan realities based on whatever your product is. And then you can also use the IDA funnel in the for the Kenyan finance context. Look at the attention, interest, desire, and action. For attention, TikTok skits about what happens if you ignore insurance are likely to get a lot of feedback and engagement for your insurance business. For interest, carousel posts showing 5 ways the SACCO beats the Shylocks could be really informative. Desire, case studies. How can Jane's salon grow after a 200,000 shillings microloan? And lastly, action. Simple WhatsApp CTA, reply loan to check if you qualify. Another way in which we can use the Ogilvy's 12-part cheat code is sample media plan. For example, for a finance SME monthly budget of 100,000. So you could run a Google search ad for 30,000 shillings, and the title could be something like Capture SACCO Loans Near Me, Affordable Insurance Kenya, Tax Consultant in Nairobi, and so on. The second way in which you can use a budget of 100,000 to market a local media plan is meta ads. For a budget of 25,000 shillings, you could use it for storytelling, reels, case studies, and testimonials. For LinkedIn ads with a budget of 20,000 shillings per month, it can be very perfect for accountants, B2B insurance, professional SACCOs. For TikTok with a budget of 10,000 shillings, finance comedy skits simplified insurance myths. And for community engagement with a budget of 15,000, you can have branded WhatsApp groups, SMS drip campaigns, sponsored church and or community meetings. For creative execution in finance-specific industries, for example, if we were to do an insurance SME ad, your visual could be a parent dropping a child at school, and the copy could read, "If you couldn't be here tomorrow, would your school fees still be paid? Ask us about a family cover." Another example for creative execution for a micro-lender SME ad. The visual could be a hairdresser turning away clients. This is because she lacks equipment. And the copy could read, "Don't lose customers because of cash flow. Get a loan in 3 hours." And lastly, an example for tax consultant SME ad. The visual could be a boda boda rider looking confused over receipts. The copy could read, "If KRA knocks, will you be ready? We handle tax stress so you can handle business." The key lesson for finance solo entrepreneurs and SMEs is these frameworks are not academic, they're weapons. If you are an SME in finance, 2025 demands that you stop hiding behind referrals only. Use digital to show proof and build trust. Translate your product into real struggles of Kenyans, school fees, emergency medical bills, debt cycles, and hustler survival. Because in finance, credibility is equals conversion. So if you're running a SACCO, a micro-lending business, or even a solo insurance agent or tax consultant, don't just rely on referrals and hope. These frameworks, that is the 4Ps, IDA, positioning, they're not just there for marketing textbooks, they're there for you. They help you package trust, tell stories that matter, and scale beyond your inner circle. Because in Kenya 2025 finance landscape going forward, the businesses that win won't be the ones with the lowest rates. They'll be the ones who market with clarity, relevance, and proof. If marketing is not your cup of tea, that's why we are there for you. Here at VP Creations, I take time to work with my customers on what they really require for their business. So if you're in the finance industry and you're looking for a very staunch marketing personnel, look no further. You get my contacts on the description box, and we can talk about how to make your business thrive better. That's today's cheat code. Until next time, bye.